Welcome to NBA Storytime. I'm Jamel Johnson. I'm hanging with Haley O'Shaughnessy, ready to listen to a story about the best deal in the history of deals. A swindle so sweet the dividends don't never ends. I'm, of course, talking about the Silna siblings and the spirit of St. Louis of the ABA. Now put the fucking mic on. In business, there is a term, fuck you money. Basically, having fuck you money means that you're rich enough to not be beholden to any business and can tell any employer fuck you and live off the cash you have.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.
If you haven't heard that clip, it's actual audio of James Harden leaving the Rockets. Needless to say, it's a good place to be.
Can you imagine if your parents named you Daniel and your brother gets to be Ozzy? Like from birth, he's the one who's fun at parties and you are the one who's reminding everyone 3 weeks out that the taxes are due.
Yeah, one of you has magical powers and the other one clearly doesn't.
Actually, I kind of personally relate because my name is Haley and my sister's name is Bonnie, and Bonnie is so much cooler and more fun.
Yeah, she's robbed at least 8 banks. No one knows how many.
And I have plants. I have multiple plants, and that's like the highlight for me. So, yes. Anyway, I relate to Daniel. Sucks. Anyway, okay, let's carry on. Let's carry on.
Now, if you're a franchise owner, even in the upstart ABA in the 1970s, you're probably doing pretty well already. That was the case of the Silna brothers, Ozzy and Daniel, when they bought their basketball team. See, the Silnas made their money in textiles, specifically polyester. Did I mention it was the 70s? They were the polyester guys in the 70s.
Tweeds, cords, flares with Dacron polyester. It was magic.
Despite their empire of Dacron, the Silnas couldn't buy what they really wanted, an NBA team. They had tried to purchase the Detroit Pistons, but were rebuffed. So they did the next best thing and picked up the Carolina Cougars.
Can I stop again? Can we stop again? Okay. The Pistons, I didn't know this. They failed at the Pistons.
Well, this was back when Detroit was popping.
Would it have been worth it? The Pistons have won, 3 times? They have 3 championships.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's why you do it. That's the reason for the season. But then you have to live through so much shit recently. Greg Monroe being your leading scorer for years.
But if they own the team, all of that's different. It's butterfly affected out. Detroit is saved. Cars are back and better than ever.
That's not good for anybody. Just the environment in general. You don't think they would trade Chauncey? You don't think they'd pick Darko?
They would have got AI sooner. They pick Melo. They get AI sooner. Everybody is in full body polyester.
They changed their name to what's like an environmentally healthy thing. And then they transformed the city of Detroit to being completely green.
Yeah, it's the Detroit Teslas. They invent Teslas. If this goes down,
there has to be something better than Tesla. We can't get to Elon Musk.
I'm sorry. It was honestly the first thing. I just watched this shit on
I'm trying to think about
replay.
what those things are that's on the roof. The panels, solar, Detroit solar panels.
Hey, that's fire, actually. I like that, and I hope it happens.
And then they have so much money that they transform all of Detroit.
Into one big solar panel.
Exactly. All right, so we've solved that. Global warming.
Check.
So let's carry on, I suppose.
The Silnas rightly believed that the ABA and NBA would soon merge and thought to sneak into the top tier that way. To make sure they had the best shot at being called up, they moved the Cougars to the largest city without a pro basketball team, St. Louis, hoping to pack the house as synthetically as their fibers. It didn't work, and attendance at the cavernous St. Louis arena often hovered between 800 and 1,000 people. That is a whoopsies. Also, the team name couldn't travel with them. I mean, first of all, you lose the alliterative C's in Carolina Cougars, but also Cougars in St. Louis is just like a way different thing. No, the Silna Bros would rechristen their team in order to avoid the Utah Jazz problem. Cougars wouldn't fly in St. Louis, but you know what would?
The dramatic triumph of mind, body, and spirit against all odds of Charles Lindbergh and the spirit of St. Louis.
Yes, the spirit of St. Louis. the plane that Charles Lindbergh used to make the first nonstop transatlantic flight. We're going to skip right over the fact that Lindbergh was a racist and Nazi sympathizer and choose to see him as the Jimmy Stewart version from the 1957 film about his life instead.
No, we're not going to skip over that. Anytime people say Nazi sympathizer, I'm like, so he was a Nazi.
Yeah, that just means he's a Nazi. I said sympathizer because I just didn't see him personally in action.
But people say this phrase all the time, as if it's something you can sympathize with without just fully embodying it. And you know what? You know how I know that he loved Germany? Not a lot of people know this. Charlie had 3 other families in Germany, all German mistresses outside of his American wife, Anne. No, I'm being serious. They had 7 kids. He has 7 kids outside of his marriage with Anne. All German mistresses. Yeah.
Who knew this little baby could be so nasty?
I know. Charlie's also was born in Detroit. So I guess they would have named their team the Spirits regardless. They were sympathizers to his sympathizer.
Whoa.
I know.
You just fucked my head up.
I know. Anyway, now that we've not skipped over the sympathizer thing.
Correct thing. Correct stop.
Thank
I'm going to skip right over the fact that Lindbergh was a racist and Nazi sympathizer and choose to see him as the Jimmy Stewart version from the 1957 film about his life instead. Just like the Silnas did.
Well, she's really a very fine little machine, sir. She flies like a dream and never let me down.
Oh, it's like naming a basketball team after Harvey Weinstein. Oh, Jimmy, truly the everyman. And thus, the Spirits of St. Louis were born. Aside from their strange name, the Spirits are now known for 2 things. 1, they picked then 20-year-old future NBA Hall of Famer Moses Malone off the roster of the collapsing Utah Stars, which I did think was a WNBA team. They also had Marvin Bad News Barnes, who was the Spirits' leading scorer and all-star and resident person who had no idea how time zones worked. But he didn't flourish in the NBA like Malone did, although he was way better than Moses at doing cocaine. Pick any Moses in history, all of the Moseses.
Moses Malone comes into the Spirit lineup. He replaces Marvin Barnes as the inbound goes to Jim McDaniels.
Malone wasn't the chairman of the boards yet, but he did nearly average a double-double with 14 points and 9.5 rebounds per game. Also, if that announcer sounds familiar, that's because it's my dad, Bob Costas. Yes, the Olympic announcing sportscasting legend. He went on to better things.
I woke up this morning with my left eye swollen shut.
That's all. I just wanted to confirm that he is my father and I'm not lying. Continue.
I was going to bring up the pink eye thing, but before I could even request that the tape was stopped, you guys were on top of it. Poor Bob Costas. Like, what an illustrious career. And meanwhile, every time he gets brought up, I can just think of the still of him looking really concerned in the camera and just completely as if a makeup artist did it. Pink eye.
I just like that Bob doesn't change his sheets often either.
Ew.
Now I know that. Bob's a gross little freak.
Big old freak, Bob Costas.
After this comes out, it's happening.
Moses Malone, or who were you just saying did more drugs than Moses Malone did more coke?
Marvin Barnes. Marvin Bad News Barnes.
Yeah, he cannot do more than the Kentucky Derby winner this year. He has him way up on drugs, so he leads that.
Marvin versus a horse, and it's going down to the wire.
I woke up this morning with my left eye swollen shut and just about as red as the old Soviet flag.
Is that what he said? The Soviet flag?
The other thing the Spirits are known for is the dopest outfits this side of ever. Their unis were burnt orange, silver, black, and white. They featured their namesake plane spelling out the team name as a vapor trail in groovy 70s font.
Spirits dressed in the orange uniforms with the silver trim.
Off the court, they were killing it too. Their wide-collared orange shooting shirts with white accent piping and white bell-bottom pants with a diagonal orange stripe near the cuff were immaculate. And also 100% polyester. Everything in that damn building was polyester. This was the kingdom of polyester, and the Spirit were the knights of polyester. There's a picture of the team posing in front of the Spirit of St. Louis plane, and I highly recommend you Google it. I went as the photo for Halloween last year. On the court, the Spirits were pretty all right. In their first season, they squeaked into the playoffs and knocked off Dr. J's defending ABA champion New York Nets before falling in the finals to the Kentucky Colonels, who unfortunately didn't license the rights to Colonel Sanders or their logo.
Obviously, my family's from Kentucky. I would be so annoying if Kentucky had an NBA team. I would have the energy of every Lakers fan just condensed down to one person, and that would be me. People talk about Louisville getting a team now. If that ever happens, I will buy champagne for everyone who listens to this. Literally anybody who wants it. And I won't be paying for it, but I will find out how to find somebody to pay for it because I'm resourceful, just like the Silna brothers. I figure out how to do things.
The odds of a stadium serving biscuits and gravy would exponentially increase.
Despite us having the Yum Center sponsored by KFC, that has still not happened. So
ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I hate KFC. I think it's some of the worst fried chicken I've ever had. I haven't eaten in like a decade. So I'm fine with it.
Strong words.
We should separate.
I knew things was bad. I knew I needed to get a therapist because I convinced myself KFC was good mid-quarantine. Somewhere around, you know what I mean, like last, like June, I just saw a KFC coupon and went off the handle.
I started eating Taco Bell again. So.
It happens. What do you get? Baja Blast?
No, I get the 2 hard shell tacos, a chicken quesadilla, because somebody told me to never eat beef there, but I still get the beef in the tacos.
Yeah, sure. In the taco makes it safe again.
Exactly. Thank you. It has a hard exterior to keep me safe.
Yeah, there's no way.
That's generally my order, but sometimes I'll just double it.
That's fair. Depending. Weekend, weekday.
Dark winter. Oh no, we're in May. Dark spring.
Nah, you who knows, man. This shit'll be running in winter.
Okay. All right. I'm over the Kentucky thing. The champagne promise is real, but again, I will not be paying.
Spirits with a chance to add to a 2-point lead as Driscoll jumps and misses. Rebound, Goo in the lane. Goes up with it. He's got it again.
Their second year, the Spirits disappointed despite having Malone, Barnes, Caldwell Jones, Ron Boone, and ML Carr, who would all go on to have NBA careers. In fact, they missed the playoffs entirely. The NBA had seen enough. As the Silnas predicted, the NBA and ABA merged in 1976, but the NBA didn't absorb all 6 of the solvent ABA squads. They only made room for the Denver Nuggets, New York Nets, San Antonio Spurs, and Indiana Pacers. But the Spirits and Colonels weren't going home empty-handed. Tell them what they've won! That's right, Jamel. The Kentucky Colonels are leaving basketball with a crisp $3.3 million, and the Spirits are getting... Wait, hold up. Here is where it happens. The best deal in history. The Silna siblings didn't take a lump sum like the Colonels. They went full galaxy brain and asked for future television money from the teams that joined the NBA. A 1/7 share from each franchise. In perpetuity, and they got it. The rest is history. The NBA became big time. TV deals blew up. I've been thinking about deals a lot since, orating this at the Library of Congress. Is there a better deal? Like, what if they took I want 18% of all chicken finger baskets for the rest of time. Is that a better deal than the TV deal?
No, because then they'd have a horrible heartburn. I think we really have to appreciate the percentage, though. 1/7 from each franchise. What were the franchises? The Nets, the Spurs, the Pacers,
the Nuggies,
the Nuggets, the Nuggets, the titular Nuggets. That's 57% if you add them up. I know that because I was blown away when I first learned about this entire story. And I also Googled if they have grandsons.
What's the verdict?
Not really my type.
Not quite? Oh,
anyway.
Okay. Man bun? Yeah. Ponytail?
Man bun would be my type. But anyway, it's an insane deal. Did you also know, this is kind of going to dim their shine of being able to pull this up. I love scammers, my people. But did you know that the Silnas lost a ton of money in the Bernard Madoff Ponzi scheme?
Oh, they got burnt by that? Hey, good.
Yes.
Good for them.
I know. Yeah. What's that saying? Either you live long enough to become... You become the hero or live long enough to become the... played by the Bernard Madoff
family.
Scheme.
Yes.
Yeah. You were talking about chicken nuggets, and I was like, no, it wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah, it's not the same. Okay. Thank you.
It's not the same. It's not good enough. I mean, they got the TV rights. If you think about the NBA's TV deal, what was it in 2000? It's the reason that in 2016, all of those teams went crazy and oversigned speaking of the Detroit Pistons, they were one of those teams that oversigned a bunch of players in 2016, and it led to their mid-2010s demise, which actually was already since 2010-11. That's when I talked about Greg Monroe leading and scoring. Never forget, could have taken somebody else. But
Go
yes, that should be a testament to how much money they came into.
And they also knew that cable was going to happen. They're like, you know what?
How did they know that?
I don't know. Well, because Ozzy has telepathic telekinetics.
Okay. So like the polyester company is kind of like one of those dark labs. I'm not super into superhero stories, but I know that Spider-Man, didn't a spider fall into some kind of chemical and then bite him?
Yeah,
so like
exactly.
something polyester happened that made him
He put on polyester with powers that gave him mental powers. He saw that Spectrum was about to, pop the fuck off, and here we are.
Yeah, here we are. They knew, so good for them. But they did not know enough to not be scammed by Bernard.
Yeah. Which, hey, come on, man. He might have had his own cloaks.
Bernard got him. Yeah. Too bad. Also, rip. Oh my God, cut that.
Nah, you got to add an echo to that one.
Oh my God.
The Silna siblings didn't take a lump sum like the Colonels. They went full galaxy brain and asked for future television money from the teams that joined the NBA, a 1/7 share from each franchise in perpetuity, and they got it. The rest is history. The NBA became big time. TV deals blew up. The league kept adding new teams, and the Silna brothers kept getting paid.
The New York Times reports the deal's value at more than $2.5 billion per year.
The Spirits of St. Louis earned their owners $300 million in TV revenue in nearly 40 years after folding, until the NBA bought out most of their share in 2014 for a lump sum of $500 million. And to this day, they receive some income from the Nets, Nuggets, Pacers, and Spurs. That's nearly $1 billion to not play basketball. Now that's fuck you money. It'll never be enough to bring back polyester. Tell them I said that.
Okay, I have one more. In retrospect, if you think about it, in retrospect, I actually think the Silna brothers shadow owned the Pistons because they like a slow burn investment deal, right? That's how they won. So you're telling me any regular person who did not have the encouragement of this massive TV deal slow burn would
Give it to him,
decide
Haley.
It's worth waiving Josh Smith and stretching his 2-year, $26 million contract into, wait, it's burned into my memory, 5 years and $5.3 million. Are you kidding me? Nobody else would have the balls to do that. Everyone thinks Stan did that. No, he didn't. It was the Silnas. Again, maybe only one of them, because I think the other one.
Yeah, we're not sure who, but respect to your family and the state. We know you got $300 million somewhere buried somewhere, and you gave some of that to Josh Smith. We figured you out.
And the rest was to Bernie, and not the good one.
Many thanks to Haley O'Shaughnessy, the god herself, for coming on to the program and listening to NBA Tales. Where can the people find you, Haley?
On Twitter at Haley O something, and also follow Spinsters on Twitter, me and Jordan Liggins podcast at Spinsters BW, and subscribe to Spinsters. It is also basketball related.
I'm your host, co-writer and stretch small forward Jamel Johnson. Harry Swartout is our producer, co-writer, and rec specs enthusiast. Daniel Hardigan is our script editor and the guy who mops up after people fall down under the basket. Terrence Deutsch and the very busy Dom Lucillo are our video editors and really mismatched backcourt duo. If I'm being honest, I probably would have went with Devin Shepard, who is our production coordinator and the only one who makes sure we all get on the team bus on time. John Yells and Peter Moses are our executive producers who insisted on calling their own fouls. NBA Storytime is a Blue Wire podcast. Catch you next time.